2 brown paper bags. Standard coroner's protocol. April 1, 1000, 987. Placed over her hands. Those bags held the answer. 38 years. The midnight paradigm. We re-examine what the investigation missed, every time. In 2025, that evidence finally gave up its secret. Rhonda Marie Fisher, born 1956, New York. By 1987, she was 30, living in Denver. March 31, last seen walking north on Monaco. That street, that direction, both would matter later. A motorist found her body the next morning. South Perry Park Road, Sedalia, Douglas County. She had been strangled, found without clothing. Medical examiner, cause of death asphyxiation by ligature. No immediate suspects. The investigation produced nothing. Protocol placed paper bags over both hands. Sealed, labeled, transported to the refrigerated evidence vault. There they remained, untouched for nearly 4 decades. What strikes as the 1987 documentation was remarkably thorough. Every item catalogued, the bags listed, never tested. No one thought to analyze the bags themselves. In 1987, this was still the analog days of forensics. In 1987, the FBI had used DNA profiling 2 years. Trace DNA extraction from paper surfaces was decades away. The evidence was there. The right question was not. Rhonda's parents received the report. The case went cold. Her parents, her brother, all died before resolution. One cousin remained, waiting, no longer expecting an answer. Court records confirm the 1987 investigation had no viable suspect. The key connector was already in custody elsewhere. That man, Vincent Darrell Groves, Colorado had met him before. Vincent Darrell Groves, born April 19, 1954, Denver. Wheat Ridge High School, some athletic aptitude, then nothing. By his early 20s, Groves drifted into criminal circles. He took work as a janitorial supervisor, access everywhere. Keys to apartments, offices, Monaco corridor included. Legitimate access made him operationally invisible for years. In 1979, Joyce Ramey, 23, Emma Jennifer, 25, Peggy Cuff, all strangled. Paper fibers found near or on their bodies. Why did those fibers go unlinked to Groves for decades? August 1981, Groves killed 17-year-old Tammy Woodrum. He claimed overdose. The autopsy concluded strangulation. Groves confessed and was convicted of second-degree murder, 1982. The judge applied Colorado's Gorsuch bill, HB 1589, 5-89, 1979. Determinate sentencing, fixed terms, mandatory parole at percentage served. Named after David Gorsuch, a future justice's father. Criticized from the start for short violent offender sentences. Groves served 4 years, 8 months, then released. Parole expiration date, June 15, 1987. He was free. Rhonda Fisher, murdered March 31, April 1, 1987. Groves killed Rhonda while still on parole. 75 days left. We don't know what parole supervision of Groves looked like. Consider, he killed Rhonda with 75 days still on parole. After Rhonda, Groves killed again. Pamela Montgomery, 1988. Then Diane Moncoya Mancera, found in rural Douglas County. Groves arrested September 1, 1988. Convicted 1990, life imprisonment. Denver westward, Groves possibly responsible for 24 homicides. The true number is unknown. He died without full accounting. DNA confirmed him in the Jennifer, Ramey, Cuff murders. That 2012 confirmation shifted how investigators read the Groves file. So why wasn't the Fisher case re-examined after 2012? The 2025 reviews answer, jurisdictional. 2 separate agencies. Denver PD ran 2012. Fisher belonged to Douglas County. 2 agencies. Incomplete information sharing, no centralized review. In 2017, Douglas County submitted Fisher evidence for DNA testing. Partial profile, 7 of 16 loci. Insufficient for CODIS match. The paper bags were not on the 2017 submission list. Reading the 2025 review, the 2017 near miss required reading twice. If the bags had been included, case solved 8 years. Rhonda's mother might still have been alive to hear it. Documented arithmetic of missed opportunity. Now, what changed in 2025? The Douglas County Cold Case Unit was methodical, not lucky. 7 cold cases in 7 years. Congressional recognition 2025. Early 2025. A full systematic evidence review of outstanding cases. Michelle Kennedy, forensic genealogist and crime analyst, led. Kennedy and Shane Williams worked through every Fisher evidence item by item, cross-referenced against the 2017 submission list. Then Williams asked, "What has not been tested yet?" The answer, 2 paper bags, 38 years untested. Extracting DNA from paper required techniques absent in 2017. Modern trace DNA recovers skin cells from paper surfaces. A hand-pressing paper leaves recoverable trace material behind. Sheriff Weekly, viable DNA from 40-year-old bags is exceptionally rare. Refrigerated storage was critical. Cold slowed DNA degradation. Williams extracted the trace DNA and submitted it to CODIS. CODIS, the Combined DNA Index System, the National Forensic Case-to-Case Match, a profile in a different cases file. What came back from CODIS changed this case permanently. Late October 2025 result arrived. CODIS case-to-case match confirmed. The paper bag DNA matched 1,979 Denver homicide files. Jennifer Ramey Cuff confirmed as Vincent Groves' DNA and the chain closed. Groves' 1,979 DNA matched Rhonda's paper bags. Groves had killed Rhonda Marie Fisher. The science proved it. Colorado could not charge him. Groves died in custody, 1,996. Posthumous identification, the science arrived. Accountability did not. We cannot say what charges would have followed, the record. What we can say, the evidence meets scientific identification standard. The December 2025 press conference was notable for its restraint. Sheriff Weekly acknowledged resolution, but not resolution with justice. Rhonda's cousin to NBC, December 2025. Very happy to have. 4 words. Consider what 38 years of waiting contains. Her parents died not knowing. Her brother died not knowing. The Tranquility AI Time Pilot platform now organizes the case files. Douglas County approved 100-0 for the platform in April 2026. 35 cold cases remain open. Weekly is committed to continue. The June 2026 7 and 7 years post was that milestone should prompt a harder question about the 1,987. The question is not why 1,987 lacked the science. The question, why did nobody in 2017 ask about those? An institutional failure. The framework did not prompt the question. Williams' question, what has not been tested, is, what does it mean Groves was never charged for Rhonda's? The system convicted him for crimes it detected not. He died for the 1,988 murders, not for Rhonda Fisher. Now the Gorsuch bill, the systemic hinge of this case. In 1,985, Colorado doubled maximum sentences for violent felonies. That reform arrived too late. Groves was sentenced under the current law, second-degree murder, minimum 16 years, 75% before parole. Under the law applied to Groves, under 5 years for. The Gazette 2012, under current law, Groves would not have. Rhonda Fisher, Pamela Montgomery, Diane Mancera, 3 deaths in that. The evidence suggests all 3 murders were preventable. Different sentencing. That is the documented conclusion. We state it without embellishment. Between 1989 and 2024, 375 wrongful convictions overturned by DNA. The Groves case is the inverse. Bright man, too late. The forensic technology works. The institutional infrastructure is not kept. 5,280 magazines chasing a ghost documented Groves targeting Denver for. He targeted women least likely to generate immediate searches. Janitorial access, legitimacy as camouflage is a known. BDK, security installer. Keys, construction supervisor. Operational camouflage is not. In our assessment, the Groves case defines what professional camouflage. Convicted murderer on parole. Professional building access. 16 months undetected. This case demonstrates something critical about evidence preservation protocol. Refrigeration preserves those bags. Room temperature destroys DNA within years. The 1,987 protocols preserved what they collected, not knowing. The evidence was always there, waiting for science to catch. Williams used trace DNA extraction, low copy number PCR amplification. LCN PCR amplifies DNA too sparse for conventional forensic analysis. The technique requires sterile conditions 1,987 processing could not guarantee. Williams controlled for contamination through a parallel blank test protocol. The CODIS result, case to case, not a subject match. Case to case. Investigators used a pre-existing sample, not a suspect database. The 1,979 evidence held the 2025 answer. Preserved unknowingly. No cold cases hopeless while biological evidence exists. The Gorsuch bill's parole failure was not isolated to Colorado. The 1970s reform era opened similar windows in multiple states. The Groves case is one data point in a national. Decades on, her family mostly gone, the answer arrived alone. The science arrived 38 years too late for most of. Your theory on the 2017 near miss, drop it in. Full breakdown pinned in the comments. Next case, Friday.